Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. I think we are going. Turn off the fan. There we go. Okay. So before we start making your character, why don't you do the introduction thing that I had everybody else do?
our AA meeting introduction. Um, well, I'm Renee,
Hi,
and
Renee.
hey, I have always done gaming type things, but I didn't really get into even video game RPGs until a few years ago. And Dragon Age was the game that finally convinced me that was a thing I wanted to do. And then a couple of years ago, you, almighty podcaster of us all, uh, invited us to do D&D, and that was my first tabletop RPG experience. So, and I've done a couple since then, and here we go. This is the third character that I've made, so it should be exciting.
All
The
right.
first non-fighter that I'll be making.
Nice. You gotta get out of your wheelhouse a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. Well, since we're here to make a character, I guess let's do that.
All
Um,
right.
do you have a particular race in mind?
I do have a particular race. Now, whether I can pronounce it or not, there we go. Hang on, let me pull up my table of contents here. Ta-da. Okay. I am going to go with Githzerai.
Okay.
I assume I'm pronouncing that correctly. I forgot to look that up. So,
It you pronounce that like it's spelled, so I'm gonna go with yes.
okay. So if anyone listening to this knows that it's wrong, please don't correct me.
Let's see. Now I have to look it up. Right. Pronunciation. I can't spell pronunciation, so that helps. Uh,
Pronunciation is a weird word.
this does not tell me how to pronounce it. Why? Pronun. Whatever. We'll figure it out. We're gonna go
Yeah,
with
forget it, whatever.
Githzerai.
Yeah.
So choose that. Next. Now we select a class.
I'm gonna go with Seeker.
Seeker, 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 seeker. Controller, you're a primal hunter who forges bonds with mysterious spirits to gain their aid in bringing down your prey. Depending on your choice of class features, you lean toward either defender or striker as a secondary role. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. Backgrounds and all that. Time to tempt fate and see what you roll for your dice.
All right. So what am I doing? What's my thing here?
Slash roll 4d6 K3 to keep the three highest. And then after you enter it, just hit up and enter again, and it'll do the same command. Alright, so we have a 14, a 13. We're going to redo the 4.
How many is that? Three?
Yes.
How many more times am I doing this?
4 more. 12, 11, 16, and one more.
Good Lord.
Reroll that. If it's less than a 9, I'm not making you guys keep it.
All right, so I have two rerolls then. Oh, look, a 9.
9. Well, the 4 rerolled as an 8, which rerolled this time as a 9. So, see, the
Yeah,
17 would have been nice. Bobby got 3 17s. I don't know if you saw that part.
I did.
Not
Fuck
fair.
him. Sorry. Because I just rolled
Rude.
shit.
All right. Now, as a Githzerai, you get +2 to Dexterity and Wisdom,
Yes.
which is convenient since it says that your primary abilities for this class are Dexterity and Wisdom. It sounds like you did
Yes.
your homework. Uh, so let's see. Let's assign the stats, starting with the lowest. Where do you want that 9 to be?
Let me see. I need my
Strength,
other
Con,
sheet.
Dex, Int, Wiz, or Charisma?
Hang on. I'm going to open up my
Sure.
other thing so I can see it. Da, 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 da. Okay. Oof. I'm going to go with. Hmm. That's going to go with strength.
Okay.
I'll put my lower number in strength because that's not really.
Not really necessary for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's less necessary for this character, I think.
Fair enough. All right. Next up is the 11.
Let's go with, let's see, dexterity and wisdom. Let's go with charisma.
Okay. Next up is a 12.
Yeah, constitution.
Okay. 10, 11, 12. The 13. I think we have dexterity, intelligence, and wisdom remaining.
We do. And what numbers do I have left?
13, 14, and 16.
All right, let's put the 13 with the wisdom.
Okay. Boop, 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 boop. So that bumps it to 15 with your bonus. Next up is the 14.
Let's put that with intelligence.
Do, 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 do. And last but not least, the 16. Well, definitely not least, because that's the way we...
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to put that with dexterity.
Okay.
We're going to make that my primary.
That gets bumped to an 18, so it's a nice little modifier you got. Next up, we get to train some skills.
Right.
You get to train 3 out of acrobatics, athletics, endurance, heal, insight, intimidate, perception, or stealth.
3. I'm going to do acrobatics for 1.
Okay.
Perception.
Okay. Always handy.
And what were the other ones?
Athletics, endurance, heal, insight, intimidate, or stealth.
Athletics, endurance. Insight. I'm trying to think of the other. I guess we'll go with athletics.
Okay.
Since I have perception, we'll go with athletics then.
Okay.
Try to spread those out between the skills a little bit.
Fair enough. Next up, you have to choose a feat. So hopefully you read up on this part
Oh, yeah.
because holy god, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, shiesta. All right. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Where am I and what am I doing here? Okay, wait. What am I looking for here? Oh, crap. Well, I can't find the list.
I can run down what it's got here for different stuff if you'd like. If any of it sounds familiar.
Hang on. Is that it? No. Wait. Alright. Here we go. Yeah. Alright, let's see if I remember what I'm doing here.
Iron Retreat is kind of cool. Helpful if you're getting punched in the face, I guess.
That is not.
Not something you plan on doing?
No, I don't. That's not in my list.
That's weird. Some of these look like they're from the Dungeons and Dragons magazine. It's probably part of the issue.
Yeah, well, because there is stuff in the character builder that's not in the handbooks.
Yeah, some of it,
Which is why I'm like, oh man, but
yeah, the magazine,
I don't know.
usually every issue adds a couple little feats or,
Mhm.
class abilities and stuff like that, which I guess is a good reason to subscribe to it, but it kind of sucks if you, don't have a subscription.
Right. Where was the one? Did I?
Some of these are kind of cool.
Mhm.
Are you planning on using a heavy blade for your weapon? Because there's a Blade Master feat that gives you +2 damage rolls with any heavy military blades.
Oh, nice. Okay, I remember what it was. I want to go with the improved inevitable shot, which allows my inevitable shot to ignore cover and concealment.
Okay.
I'm using my primal spirits to ignore that stuff. Who needs cover and concealment anyway?
Improved inevitable shot. Not seeing that one.
It's in the list that's just for seekers because inevitable shot is a class feature that I get,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically like a bump up for that apparently.
See, the 3 that this has listed is Bloodied Illusion, Inescapable Shot, and Strengthened Bond. But I'll see if I'm missing an update somewhere, and I'll throw that one in before I make the character sheet.
Okay, so
So-
let me see if it's got
Improved inevitable shot.
inevitable shot targets enemy within 10 squares of this target. Oh, interesting. Inescapable shot is interesting, but that seems like how is that different from
Inevitable shot. When power user spends
Inevitable
he or
shot.
she regains use of this power.
Oh, I guess maybe it's that it automatically hits as opposed to me just being able to redirect it.
Make a range basic attack against anything. It's the same power, just with a different name, it looks like. Basically, they both say if you miss...
Oh, the inescapable shot increases it to 10 squares instead of 5.
Oh, okay. Derp. Okay.
It took me a second too. I'm like, it is exactly the same.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it increases the range.
Right, okay.
Well, and if the character builder won't update for the cover and concealment one, then that's fine.
Okay.
I'm not going to be too picky about shooting people.
As long as the right people get shot.
Exactly.
Alright, well, you have 2 at-will powers to choose from, and it looks like you have a grand total of 3 to choose 2 out of, so... We...
1, 2, 3. No, the book has 4. But I'm going to pick elemental spirits
Okay.
and. Okay, now I have a question before I choose this one.
Sure.
If I know that you had said that we would ignore ammo.
Yeah.
Basically. So if I'm using thrown weapons instead of arrows, is that still like? I mean, are we going to assume I automatically recover them?
Yeah, I'm going to assume you have probably enough for, a sustained amount of combat.
Okay. I wanted to make sure before I decided to go with thrown weapons. Then I'm going to pick Guardian Harrier, if that's in your list.
It's not, but like I said, I'll do I'll
Okay.
see if I'm missing an update and add that in there.
Okay.
Alright, Guardian Harrier, Encounter Power.
Oh, yes. Encounter power. I pick. Which one?
Spider Spirits. Gross.
Yeah, some of the stuff is like, wow, that's creepy. Possessing spirits.
Okay. Possessing Spirits. And for your daily power.
That was Storm of Spirit Shards.
Storm of Spirit Shards. Alrighty. Now, what do we have here? Next up is gear and such. Now, as far as a weapon, what were you thinking of using?
I want to something. Okay, exactly. Something that is light, a light thrown weapon.
Okay.
And I don't know why I'm not. I forgot to open the first handbook over here, which is where weapons are. Something small, dagger-esque, maybe, depending on what my options are. Ooh, almost
Weapon.
checked. Contents. Equipment. Weapons. Alright. Tiny axes.
There are throwing axes.
That seems like that would be cumbersome to carry around, though.
Well, it's probably just like hatchets, so it's not
That's
as
true.
as
Yeah.
cumbersome. But yeah.
Like, look at all my tiny axes I'm carrying around.
Oh, hey, there's intelligent items. That sounds something. Hmm.
Could do a sling, but that would count. Would that count as a?
It counts as ranged. I don't think it'd be specifically thrown since you're doing the David and Goliath motion.
Right. Well, I'm just curious because my at-will power is for a thrown weapon. It says light or heavy thrown weapon.
Which one? Not elemental spirits. The other one? Uh, Guardian Harrier.
Yes, the one that you couldn't find.
Of course. Let me look it up and I'll, Guardian Harrier 4E. Of course there's no power card for it. That would be too easy. Guardian Harrier, melee or ranged weapon. You must be wielding a light thrown or heavy thrown weapon to make a melee attack with this power. I see, I see.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's got a picture of somebody's player sheet, and it says additional effects, +1 to damage rolls against a single creature that is not adjacent to any other creature due to bow expertise. With a thrown weapon.
Well, so apparently thrown is a little bit subjective for some players.
Yup. Like this is like printed out by the character builder, so figure that crap out.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, they've got to have items in here somewhere. Weapons. Weapons 200. No, I don't want magic weapons. I just want weapons. Like, God, I hate you guys sometimes.
Holy cow, some of these magic weapons are stinking expensive.
Yeah, which is why the odds of you being able to just buy one off of somebody in the world is very slim.
Right? I mean, our level 8 group of 6 people only has like 5,000 gold.
Mm-hmm. Melee ranged. Huh. From what I can see, really the only thrown weapon are shurikens, at least in the first player's guide.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at in here.
Huh.
Which,
If you wanted to use throwing axes, I would let you do that. Like shuriken gives you +3 to proficiency and 1d4 damage, so you could do that. Or if you wanted to do like a small throwing hatchet, I'd let you do like +2 proficiency and do 1d6 damage, since they're a little bit beefier. But it'd be slightly harder to hit with them.
yeah.
Yeah, like I was looking through the character builder.
Question, because 1d4 is not a lot of damage.
Right. So it's kind of a, you know.
Well, I mean, I could change my. I don't mind changing my at will. I'd rather have a higher damage weapon than the advantage of a
Yeah.
raptor spirit.
Hmm.
I mean, I think that a higher damage weapon's going to do, but it is an at-will power, so I could use it all the time.
Yeah, the character builder has a bola that you can throw, 1d4, and the shuriken, which also does 1d4.
Well,
You can get
let's go with the
boomerangs.
shuriken because if I mean this is an at-will power, so it's not like
Right,
I can only use it one time and then I'm stuck with a 1d4 weapon.
right.
So let's go with that. We'll
All
go
right.
with the shuriken.
So we've got that as a ranged weapon. Do you want to pick up a melee weapon or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a. Let's see, what do we have here? We have something small.
Lightsaber, dagger.
Absolutely, lightsaber.
What?
We'll go with
You can get It looks like you can get a scythe, a claw fighter claw, a dagger, or a sickle, and then you have like maces and crap like that.
let's go with the sickle because that is just unusual enough. I think my character would like that.
Okay. Sickle, shuriken, and sickle. Let's go.
Suddenly, I realized that I'm building a Game of Thrones character here with shuriken and sickle.
You only need to speak his name, and he shall be killed.
Oh,
Um,
gosh. Okay,
Looks like you have choice between cloth or leather armor.
let's go with leather.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
You know.
All right. I think we've got all the stuff for the actual like statistically involved parts. Now we get for the creative-y bits.
Ooh, creative bits.
Male or female?
What's our count right now?
I think it's 3 guys and 2 girls.
Let's round it up to 3 girls then.
Okay. And what would you like to name your Githzerai Seeker?
Shoot, I forgot. I came up with it yesterday and I forgot it. Crap. Hang on one second. Let me remind myself. I know how to do. I know what I had going on here. Races.
It looks like they're the ones in the book are rather small, like
Yes.
Mo and Lay and Lou and
Oh,
Die.
I remember. It was Eska.
Eska. Okay. ESKA.
Yes.
Okay. Dun dun dun. It says the height for these is between 6 foot and 6'5".
I'll be about 6'2".
6'2", and
Yeah,
between
probably
160 and 190 pound wise.
We'll do about 175.
175. Nice middle ground.
Yeah.
All right. Good, lawful good, or unaligned?
This is a tough one. We'll go with good.
Okay, I was about to say there may be some gray area involved, so lawful good might be harder to
Yeah,
stick to.
I don't think this character would be lawful good, but I think that they would be more good than unaligned.
Okay. Do you have any sort of deity in mind that they follow the teachings of, or anything like that?
Yes. I did. Hang on.
Okay.
Find the name.
I'm totally not reading these because there's about 130 in the character builder.
Oh yeah, I can't even. It was the one that started with an M.
M. Melora?
Yes, Melora.
I remember that as the sort of nature-y type
Nature,
goddess.
yeah.
So yeah, that sounds about right. Patron Melora. Let's see if we can figure out some stuff about the Githzerai in general. Do they have any sort of preferred environment? Like, do they all settle down in the mountains or anything like that? Or
I would say they're someplace where not. I don't think they're terribly specific about like the environment that they choose, um, because they're kind of. They seem to be. I think that they're kind of nomadic in a lot of ways, but they want to be someplace where they can um, commune with nature, um, make a statement for themselves. Um, so not someplace like desert-like,
Okay.
but
Place with
I would say like
a decent assortment
kind of
of creatures
maybe
and.
yeah, foresty, maybe some in the mountains. Not too far from cities, but they don't really like to be in the cities. They live a simple ascetic kind of life.
Okay. All
They're
right.
kind of Buddhist, really, a little bit.
A Buddhist that can summon raptor spirits.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's a new kind of Buddha there. How do they feel about other like humanoid races? Are they welcoming, or do they live more of a like reclusive type existence?
They interact with other races. They are kind of aloof from them, but they interact with them fine. They don't have bad feelings toward them. Um, but they don't readily bring others into their inner circle of friendship.
Okay.
They're they kind of hold them at a distance until trust is earned,
Okay.
until the other person can prove the other race can prove themselves as an individual. That person can prove themselves as an individual, really.
Okay. Makes sense. Um, Average lifespan for one of these people?
Um, we'll say 200 years,
Okay.
because we can say that,
We can. That's the fun thing about being able to just handcraft
right?
a world.
Right.
Approximately 200 years. How old is Eska?
About 72.
72. About 72.
Well, because I was just gonna say about 70, and I decided I would pick 72.
Throwing some numbers out there. Let's see. Ba-da-ba. Got that. Trying to make sure I cross all my I's and dot my T's. Wait,
Right.
never mind. Um, are there a lot of Githzerai, or are they more rare to be seen out and about?
I don't think there are. I don't think that you would commonly encounter them like every day,
Mm-hmm.
but they're known about. They tend to keep more to themselves, which is more why you wouldn't see them as often, as opposed to the fact they're not a dying race or anything.
Okay.
Um, you know, so there's not a huge number of them, maybe, but you see fewer of them than there are.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
More due
But
to
I
their
would say that
aloofness
most
than any
people would
rarity.
right.
Okay.
I would say that most people have probably encountered several over their lifetime.
Okay. Now, let's get some background on Eska in particular. You have any sort of like past in mind for her, or?
I do. She is an orphan,
Okay.
and she has been away from society. She's been in I guess we'll say a monastery. I don't know. The convent word does not appear here, but so she has been in a monastery studying the history of her people and the great, adventurers and warriors and those who have made a name for themselves. And she decided that why read about people who are great if being great, if making a name for yourself is important, then she should go do that.
Okay.
And so she's been out and about for, I don't know, 8 years or so. And she wants to not just make a name for herself, but to do so in a noble fashion, as a noble warrior, an aid to others. But she's also interested in studying other races. She's, kind of picked up on the fact that her people are difficult at trust, not difficult at trusting, that doesn't make any sense. Um, Unlikely, it's more difficult for Githzerai to trust other races than to trust their own race.
Hmm.
And so she kind of wants to get a feel for other races and see, why is that? She's a little bit cynical, um, just because, it's a rough world out there. And over the 8 years, she's seen a lot of things that have caused her to become cynical, but a lot of things that have caused her to respect others and the values that other cultures have. So she's learning about other cultures while trying to be a representative of the best that her race and culture has to offer.
Okay. Sounds good.
I thought about it a lot.
It sounds like you
obviously.
thought this out. Was there anything else that you wanted to add about the race as a whole, or your character, or anything like that?
I guess just that Githzerai and my character in general tend to be intimidating when they walk into a room.
Looking at the
Um,
picture, I can see why. They look sort of
and
like a skinny Shrek.
Yes, and I enjoy that. It doesn't, I enjoy the fact that when I walk into a room, it makes an impression,
Mhm.
and I like to use that to my advantage.
Okay,
So, yeah.
that works for me. Once I can get this stupid character builder to work, I will upload your sheet and put it in the
Okay.
Dropbox. Until then, if you could do me a favor and find a picture that you want to represent
Picture.
Eska,
Okay.
I'll make you a token, and then we'll start getting all the macros and crap put in.
Excellent.
Alrighty,
Okay.
thank you.
No problem. Thanks for using your character builder.
Quote unquote using.
Makes this a whole lot easier than writing
Yeah,
in squares.
Yeah, squares are dumb.
They are.
Now let's see.